Unimart. This information is numerical information. The amount of radon in the basement of each of the 25 homes in a new development. This is also the numerical information. The color of the baseball cap worn by each of 20 students, that is attributes. The next is the length of time to complete a mathematics homework assignment. That is the length of time. It will take 2 hours, 3 hours, but it is in form of numericals. That is why it is numerical data. The state in which each truck is registered when stopped and inspected at a weight station, that is also attribute. The reason is whether the truck is overloaded or the trucks load the actual weight. In the attribute, or we can say that the qualitative information, most of the time we are having the answer in yes or no. Whether the truck is overloaded, the answer is yes, or no. No, the actual weight which is loaded by the truck driver. So this is the main 2 points of numerical data and attributes. Nominal variables. We have understand the nominal scales, ordinal scales, interval scales and ratio scales. As we earlier understand, the nominal variable and the ordinal variable are basically qualitative variables, and the discrete variables and continuous variables, they are quantitative variables. We start with the nominal variables. A qualitative variable that categorizes an element of population. Ordinal variable, a qualitative variable that incorporates an ordered positions or ranking. Who stood first, who stood second in the competition. This kind of the information or the data is considering in the ordinal variable kind. Discrete variable, a quantitative variable that can assume a countable number of values. Intuitively, a discrete variable can assume values corresponding to isolated points along a line interval, that is a gap between any two values. We are having a sort of difference can easily visualized. And in a continuous variable, a quantitative variable that can assume an uncountable number of values. Intuitively, a continuous variable can assume any value along a time interval, including every possible value between any two values. So many variables can be generated as per the requirement of the researcher. Now the note, very important note, is in many cases a discrete and a continuous variable may be distinguished by determining whether the variables are related to a count or a measurement. Discrete variables are usually associated with counting. If the variable cannot be further subdivided, it is a clue that you are probably dealing with a discrete variable. And continuous variables are usually associated with the measurements. The values of discrete variables are only limited by your ability to measure them. As per the example, identify each of the following as example of qualitative and numerical variables. The temperature in Barrow, alas at 12 pm on any given day. The make of automobile driven by each faculty members. Whether or not a 6-volt lantern's battery is defective. The weight of a lead pencil. The length of time billed for a long distance telephone call. The brand of cereal children eat for a breakfast. The types of book taken out of library by an adult. Identify each of the following as examples of nominal, ordinal, discrete or continuous variables. The length of time until a pain reliever begins to work. These are the most general example in which you need to understand which kind of information is this, or to which variable we should relate this information. The number of chocolate chips in a cookie, the number of colors used in a statistical textbook. It can be easily calculated, so we can put in a discrete form. The brand of refrigerator in a home. So the refrigerator brand which is based on their name, like LG, Samsung or so many refrigerator brands which is available in the market. So their name is used, that is why it is of nominal variables. The overall satisfaction rating of a new car. When there is a rating, we need to give the rank or we need to arrange the rank in order, so that is ordinal variables. The number of files on a computer's hard disk. So many files are available, continuous variables. The pH level of water in a swimming pool, which is also vary. The number of staples in a staplers, it cannot be even counted, so that is also the examples of continuous variable. If we undergo with this kind of the example, we can easily get the idea and easily understand the difference between this kind of the variables: nominal, ordinal, discrete and continuous. Measure and variability. No matter what the response variable, there will always be variability in the data. One of the primary objectives of statistics, measuring and characterizing the variability, controlling or reducing variability in a manufacturing process, which is called statistically process control. If we talk on this part, so in the real life, we are not going to find out the continuous variables, but whatever the response that we are receiving, from the response we shall categorize the sort of information and relate it with the any of the variables. And that is our main purpose. Okay, after categorizing, we need to measure. If suppose after enlarging the width of any road, if the road accident cannot be in the control, so we need to understand if the number of road accidents cannot be reduced, so which kind of the certain actions which is necessary. And last and very important point is a statistical process control. When any process which is going on, we need to understand whether it is in the control or not. As for the example, if we are getting a print from a Xerox machine, and as the printing which is taken out from the Xerox machines, if suppose some of the printing were very dark, so we understand that there is some technical problem. So within the process, if we are not going to control this problem or not resolve it, we are not getting the proper print and we are wasting our pages. So that is a small example, but in a very big organizations, everybody used to follow their process, whether it is in a control or not. One example, a supplier fills cans of soda marked 12 counts. How much soda does each can really contain? It is very unlikely any one can contains exactly 12 cans of soda. There is a variability in any process. Some cans contains a little more than 12 cans and some cans contain a little less. On the average, there are 12 cans in each can, and the supplier hopes there is a little variability in the process, that most can contain close to 12 ounce of the soda. Then the point is data collection. First problem a satisfaction faces: how to obtain the data. It is important to obtain the good or representative data. The inference are made based on statistics obtained from the data. Inferences can only be as good as the data. Process of data collection, as we have already seen so many examples earlier, define the objectives of the survey or experiment, estimate the average life of an electronic components like bulbs and tubes, define the variable and the population of interest. The example is length of time for an anesthesia to wear off after surgery. Defining the data collection and data measuring schemes. This includes sampling procedure, sample size, and the data measuring device like questionnaire, scales, and ruler. Determine the appropriate descriptive of inferential data analysis techniques. One more example, an employer is interested in the time it takes each employee to compute to work each morning. A random sample of 35 employees will be selected and their commuting time will be recorded. Suppose there are 2712 employees. Each employee is numbered by their different coding procedure. Using 4-digit random numbers, a sample is identified like 1315, 0987, etc. Now the classification. So before understanding the classification, we need to understand so many different terminology which is really very important for the classification and presentation of the data. Classified and arranged facts speaks of themselves and narrated they are as dead as mutton. This quote is given by J.R. Hicks. The process of dividing the data into different groups which are homogeneous within but the heterogeneous between themselves, it is called a classification. It helps in understanding the salient features of the data and also the comparison with the similar data. For a final analysis, it is the best friend of the statistician. The method of classification. The data is classified in the following ways: according to attributes or qualities. This is divided into two parts: simple classification and multiple classification. According to variable or quantity or classification according to class intervals. Qualitative classification, when the facts are grouped according to the qualities like religion, literacy, business, the classification is called as qualitative classification. Simple classification, it is also known as a classifications according to dichotomy, when the data are divided into groups according to their qualities. The classification is called as a simple classification. Qualities are denoted by capital letters, while the absence of these qualities are denoted by the lower cases. Multiple classification is the techniques